I'm Max Lopez. This is the Blue Wave. Donald Trump is once again flailing and projecting his own insecurities onto Kamala Harris, calling for her to take a cognitive test and generally questioning her mental stability in a time when the media has finally started to scrutinize Donald Trump's rambling speeches that he gives that are incoherent and hard to follow. And really, what it shows is exactly the insecurities that he ultimately does have deep down. And it's due to his very flawed, very broken personality that the former president has. And we're going to look at this Truth Social post that Trump made. But before we do that, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share with someone who's into politics. But let's go ahead and jump into the article here. It says, Trump calls on Kamala Harris to pass a test on cognitive stamina and agility, despite not releasing his own medical records. Former President Trump took another page from his best defense is a good offense playbook Monday morning when he challenged Vice President Kamala Harris to take a cognitive stamina and agility test. Trump took to social media to criticize his political rival, who made news recently when she released her medical records, declaring that she is in excellent health at 59. Harris later blasted Trump for not doing the same. A medical statement for Vice President Harris was released on Saturday. At a recent rally in North Carolina, Harris cited Trump's refusal to participate in a second debate and his decision not to sit for a 60 Minutes interview and questioned why Trump hasn't released a report on his health. Harris said Trump isn't being transparent with voters. Harris also asked if the Trump campaign is afraid that people will see he's too weak and unstable to lead America. Okay, now let's go into the Truth Social post. This jumbled grouping of words here. He says, I believe it is very important that Kamala Harris pass a test on cognitive stamina and ability. Her actions have led many to believe that there could be something very wrong with her. Even 60 Minutes and CBS, in order to protect lying Kamala, illegally and unscrupulously replaced an answer she had given, which was totally bonkers, with another answer that had nothing to do with the question asked. Also, she is slow and lethargic in answering even the easiest of questions. We just went through almost 4 years of that. We shouldn't have to do it again. Now, this is really showing where Donald Trump is very vulnerable and very insecure in himself. Because if you think back to the debate, one of the most incisive lines of attack that Harris had that very clearly got under Trump's skin was questioning his crowd sizes as well as questioning his own cognitive ability. And that really, really got at Trump because he's a total egotistical, narcissistic person. Completely off the deep end narcissist, right? Where you can call him an evil person. You can call him a bad person. You can call him a shitty person. You can call him a terrible, awful human being. And that's not going to get to someone as egotistical and narcissistic as Trump. What gets to narcissists more than anything is the mere suggestion that they're not the smartest, best looking, most accomplished people or person in the whole world or in the whole room or in a particular group, right? Because what that shows is that somebody that has narcissism, as Donald Trump does, right? They need to project their own insecurities onto others, because what that allows them to do is not feel bad about their emotions when it comes to a lack of adequacy, right? So we're getting a little into the weeds here with the psychology, but you really have to understand the mind of a narcissistic person to be able to understand how and why Donald Trump would levy such an attack against Harris. It's really because we've finally seen an uptick in the media calling out Donald Trump's cognitive ability and making less excuses for these rambling speeches that he gives. And it's very clearly has gotten under his skin, because now here he is saying that Kamala Harris needs to pass a cognitive test, when in fact a lot of people are talking about Donald Trump's age and cognitive ability. It's pure classic projection. And normal, regulated, healthy people can admit their flaws and shortcomings, right? They can self-reflect on things that they could do better, things that they are doing good, but might need a little bit of tweaking or improvement. And then they make those changes, and then they become a little bit better of a person, a more experienced person, based on that self-reflection and questioning of, hey, do I have this all right? Do I have everything in a row here? That's what normal, regulated people with normal minds do. A narcissistic person such as Trump has no such ability to self-reflect. So obviously, people calling out Trump's crowd sizes and people calling out Trump's cognitive ability, it has something to do with them, with you, the person making that assertion or that claim. You're vilified. Anybody that has anything bad to say about you as a narcissist is subconsciously or consciously, objectively vilified, because it allows that person to kind of escape any blame that they might put on themselves for realizing that they were basically had a shortcoming that people saw, right? Or had a failure, or had something that needed to be improved. That's why Donald Trump is insistent on claiming that, he's the best looking person of all time. He has the biggest crowds of all time, and yada, yada, yada. Because he's really deep down, he's a wounded person who didn't have a healthy parental couple, didn't have healthy role models when he was younger, and basically he's been spoiled his entire life, and he's never had to work or be an honest, upfront person. He's never been in a situation where he had to be honest, or honesty was something that he strived for. In fact, many situations in Trump's life, being the exact opposite of an honest person, would be something that would give him more fame, give him more power, give him more money. So that's something that he would do time and time again. And, it's absolutely ridiculous for Trump to claim that Harris needs to take a cognitive test, because, just go listen to his rallies. Like, that was another really good line of attack that Harris had during the debate. So saying, go listen to his rallies. He'll talk about Hannibal Lecter. He'll talk about windmills, and just generally not talk about things that are pertinent or important to the American people. But then when he gets called out for it, even in a very light, not harsh way at all, like the media was doing to Biden, it's immediately the other candidate, that they have those problems that people are saying that Trump has. Just classic projection. And lastly, you know, I want to say contrast Trump's behavior with people starting to bring up some questions about his age and his mental acuity, and contrast it with how Biden reacted, right? Albeit begrudgingly. Biden heeded the advice and the sentiment of the Democratic Party and the American people. And that sentiment, whether or not I personally agree with it or not, is a different conversation, a different question. But that sentiment that formed within the Democratic Party and within the American people was that Biden is too damn old to run another term. And he became extremely unpopular. Maybe not extremely, I don't want to say that. He became majority of people in the country essentially did not want Biden to run another term or be in office. And it was largely due to a perceived lack of him being able to carry out the job because of his advanced age. And I think Biden probably could have done another 4 years, but that's what people thought. And Biden, looking at the numbers, seeing the writing on the wall that people were feeling that way, dropped out of the race, did a historic, monumental thing, and dropped out of the race to clear the path for a more likely victory for the Democrats. Talk about putting country over party. Donald Trump would never have the ability to do what Joe Biden did in dropping out and having some humility and maybe admitting that he wasn't as sharp as he quite was even just, you know, a few years ago. Contrast that with Trump lashing out at Harris and claiming, no, you're the one with the cognitive decline. It's just night and day difference there. That's all I got for you guys in this one. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share with someone who's into politics, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until then, peace.